Hello there, and welcome to what shouldn't be too long of a video. This is just going to be to help two people I just saw in the co2.org replay section. One was Taurus, my second 1v1 auto match ever versus UK. Stupid loss, he's a bit annoyed with himself. Hopefully I'll learn from my mistakes, we always like to see that. And the second one is going to be Neris, very similar, Wehrmacht, second replay ever. So let's help them out. And I'm a strong believer as Wehrmacht, and with any faction really, if you don't get it right in the first 5 minutes of the game, you're going to have a bad time, and it will snowball out of control from there. You need to know the basics. So first of all, you're starting in the north of Longraskaya, your Wehrmacht. Just have a look at the map and know how it works. It's going to be all about this cutoff here, making sure that you protect it and that you can then protect your territories on the eastern side of the map. There's a long hedgerow here, so you're going to pretty much want that to be your enemy's territories over here until you're strong enough to push in and start decapping what he's got whilst making sure you've protected what he's got. You're going to be up against Brits here. They can go a couple of avenues of play. We don't know what kind of opponent you're up against, but you want to be able to protect yourself against most eventualities. But it's all about building a strong foundation. First of all, what you want to see the Pioneer do is move towards this section of the base here to get that Wehrmacht quarters away from the headquarter building. So that's not too bad. He's built it away from his base, so he's clearly not a complete retard, quite frankly. He's sentient. It's always a good tip to be building the MG42. If you're going to have one, you might as well have started building it now. The efficiency and the time saving actually means that it would start coming out right now. The Pioneers are currently moving to this standard territory point here. This is a bad capping order. As I say, you want to prioritise this cutoff and these points here rather than this. This is only worth 5 munitions and 3 fuel. This one is worth the same, but that gains access to the bigger ones, the +7 fuel over here, for example, or the +11 munitions over here. So it's always better to focus at these points and then possibly back cap over there, because time is massive in Company of Heroes. Interestingly, the Brit players building Vickers machine guns, which isn't very typical to build 2 of them. So that is typical of somebody that you're playing is also a noob. But don't worry too much about that. You've got to focus on trying to play the game in an efficient and effective manner. 2 Grenadiers, not a bad build so far. As I say, this is a wide open map with massive avenues, so an MG is a good tool. It's often called the backbone of the Wehrmacht army, is the MG42. This Pioneer's going over to these territories, not too bad. He's going to come up against the Vickers in the building. You should have realised this by now. And it's all about winning engagements. So this is going to be something that if you can't backpedal away from, it's an instant retreat. And that's not bad, to be honest, Taurus. You've done well there. You've managed to get away from the scope of the Vickers whilst keeping the squad in the game. So that's always good to see. But if he's just going to be pinned up against that MG now, there is no real reason for him to be there. One reason he could be there would be to decap this high fuel point. It's all about denying the enemy fuel. So if he's not going to be doing that and putting pressure on that, perhaps it might have been better to just retreat, run away all back to base, and then consolidate your forces. You need to consolidate forces and to 2-1 people in engagements. This is good. You're going to 2-1 this Vickers, but this is a Vickers. As soon as it sets up, you're going to be in difficult territory, so you're doing the right thing. Apply pressure. Push, push, push. Now you're going to be under the unfortunate circumstance of seeing that there's 2 Vickers machine guns, so you back away very well. Pioneer did go and attack the fuel, which is good. Going to deny the Brit player from capping, and then you retreated on 2 men remaining. You did the right thing there. Waited until you'd clearly lost the engagement. A pin Grenadier is never going to be able to reclaim his pin, so as soon as you see the red marker, you definitely need to hit retreat instantly. That's T if you've got classical keys, or R if you're using grid keys. Grid keys is an option in the settings. I strongly recommend it. It gives and identifies, using the QWERTY layout, the first 4 keys from left to right on each side. It gives. So this is a bit too aggressive, but you've taken the cut-off. That's good. If I see a nice retreat here, that's definitely what you want to be doing. You denied him the fuel from capping it. You went and took the cut-off, which is about, what, 10 seconds fuel he's not going to have now for a man lost. So it's not too bad, but, you know, it does lack a bit of punch. I'm just going to speed this up now to see what happens in the later stages of the game. Oh, sorry, the early game, the later stages of the early game. So he's taking your cut off. I wonder if he's going to try and do the same to you. Strategically now, you've lost this battle. You're up against two grenadiers. That was a rifle nade that went off. Didn't do too much damage. And if you look at your munitions, you're floating, so that's not too bad. You could have actually been utilising that munitions at this point, to be honest. You could have got some LMGs on your grenadiers. Great option. That's that option there for 60 munitions. Another rifle nade used, this time with a lot more effect. Nice to see. You should have at this point focused that squad. You did do. You clicked on him. Good. Grenade goes in. You didn't realise. You waited and you died. That's just bad micro. You will overcome that in time. And now you've got to hard retreat away from the situation. So it's all about small bits of micro, and that does come with time. You get to learn the animations. You've got idle units in base right now. They're not even reinforcing. So this right here is all about... By the way, the Grenadiers can help build this to speed up the time. So you're losing a lot of time right now. Got the 222 out. It's a good unit to have. Going to put good pressure down on the riflemen. The infantry section, rather. So yeah, that took ages. You have got the munitions for a med bunker, but look at all these idle units. You've 4 Grenadiers and a Pioneer in base doing absolutely nothing. I mean, I know you feel you're up against Vickers and there's not much you can do about it, so maybe perhaps the half-track and the flamethrower upgrade would have actually won you this game. There is no anti-tank on the field right now. The half-track, the 251 with the upgrade, would have been a fantastic choice. That's the 251 half-track. 120 munitions, which you're floating. You could have literally just driven up to these houses, especially this one here, flooded it with flames, and probably wiped the Vickers. Then you could have chased the others. There's no pressure on you whatsoever. You probably could have won the game. Now, I don't know where this game is going to go from here. Hopefully you can see the few tips I've been able to give you in 6 minutes. Idle units, that's a Neddy no-no. Better teching choices. The 222 is not a bad choice, but the 251 would have been awesome here, considering you're floating all-important munitions. And other than that, mechanically you were okay. You did the right thing strategically with some of your units, but you just need to get better micro, which will come in time, but at least you know what you're looking for now.